Hello there and welcome to the second semi-final of the 1985 National Panasonic Cup between the Western Suburbs Magpies and the Tigers of Balmain. I'm Ray Warren, and together with Bill Anderson and Graham Hughes, our pleasure to bring you this second semi-final telecast from Leichhardt. A lot of people have turned out to see the home side on this particular occasion, Balmain, take on the battlers of rugby league, Western Suburbs, and indeed it's quite a good crowd for our second semi-final. Well, let's have a look now at the way the two sides came to Leichhardt tonight. And in round one, Western Suburbs defeated Auckland easily by 32-10. Balmain, in a memorable match, defeated Brisbane and thereby accounted for the defending champions by 33 points to 16. Then in the quarters, another shock was in store when Western Suburbs bundled Penrith out 10-6. And what a match it was when Balmain 20 defeated St George 18. Let's relive just some of the highlights of those matches involving both sides in the semi-final tonight.
The ball out to Lawson, swerving back infield. They back him up infield. John Cogger outside. Oh, here's a try. Oh, beautiful piece of work by the Magpies as Brett Clark goes in, scoring wide out. Anybody prepared to say he won't get it? In flight, it looks all right. It looks good. He's done it. Oh, boy, what a kick. Owens to Pearce. Pearce away from the centre. Inside for Brooks. He'll score again. Yes! Brooks scores his second try. Oh, Clark again with a good ball for Harrigan. Oh, the little fellow is going to score. Harrigan scores. Couldn't happen to a more deserving player on the night. In this win by Western Suburbs over Penrith. Roach. Saints with a sideline replacement. Getting ready, Chris Johns. He's a man with tremendous speed. Here's Pearce to Jack. Jack to Gale. The Tigers have come around and scored near the uprights. Gale has scored.
Some nice tries in there and some memorable moments, particularly for the Western Suburbs fans. Let's have a look at the Magpies team now. The one taking the field tonight, MacArthur, Duval, Salak, Brett Gale in the centres, with Wayne Wigham, Cogger, Neal, Geelan, Craig Clark, Crooks, the English import, Lee Beater, Fowler, and of course the other front rower is Bruce Clark. Their coach is Ken Gentle. Balmain, and good news for Balmain fans, I'm sure you'd agree, only Gary Jack of the 4 State of Origin players is not taking the field. On the other hand, of course, I suppose Balmain fans could say, well, even without them, we were able to account for Parramatta, and so easily, last Sunday. There it is, the Balmain side. Incidentally, just before kick-off to the second half of this match, I'll show you again the 6 nominated tries in contention for the Golden Try, and again show you how to enter the Viewers' Try competition. That's at half-time, so don't miss it and have your pencils and pads ready. Bill and Graham join me in just a moment for the kick-off to the second semi-final of the 1985 National Panasonic Cup. So Leichhardt Oval, the venue for the second semi-final. In fact, the 24th semi-final in Cup football. Mick Stone will control it. The Magpies from right to left, and there's big Steve Roach. Petherbridge, the only player surviving, if you like, from Sunday's Balmain team of the 4 replacements. Benny Elias there. What a great match he had last night. As the Magpies get it going. And the referee says knock backwards, play on. Petherbridge held just inside the 22. Both sides have won a cup final. It was Balmain in 76 and West in 77. Elias showing it and trying to get outside the 22. The longer West can hang in there and stay within reach of Balmain, the more hope they've got, in my opinion.
There's no doubt they've got tremendous motivation to win this game, but I think their best chance of winning is if Balmain are way off their game, and I don't expect that to be the case.
Oh, there was a charge down there by the Western Suburbs side that almost turned golden for them. Knock on ordered. Pierce winning the scrum. That's MacArthur. Clark. Bruce Clark. The man they call Bruiser. Neil. Put down by Craig Clark. Scott Gale's got it. Lost. Backward, said the referee. Played by Hardwick. Here's Pierce. Can't run with that leg. Neil, the tackler. Paul Clark. There's plenty of them in this match tonight. Gale. Formerly with the Magpies. That's out on the full and well out. Well, that's a good gain for a good chase, good market defence, really. And that's basically what happened last night, those of you that watched the telecast closely, with Mortimer and Elias going for the charge down on Wally Lewis.
We've seen some good pressure applied by Western Suburbs in the opening minutes of this match, and of course in last week's semi-final, Cronulla did exactly the same thing against Manly and caused a boil over.
Penalty for feet across goes to the Magpies against Benny Elias. Differential scrum penalty. Gee, if the Magpies could score first, I mean a try, wouldn't that inflate their confidence even further? Geelan tackle, 10 metres out from the Balmain line. Neil, a cut-out ball and put down by Brett Gale. Cut Trevor Cogger out, but by doing so he had to throw a pass of about 15 metres and he just couldn't do it. It's that simple. Gale feeds the scrum in the middle of the ground on his own 22. They've won up the black and gold. Petherbridge. Full back in the dummy half. Good thinking, good stuff. Penalty to Balmain. Against the West captain, Terry Lee-Beater. Didn't seem to me to be any question, unless, of course, Petherbridge was holding him down. The refs don't seem to be all concerned with that, or too concerned with that. Oh, Gale's failed to find touch. So Scott has had 2 kicks in the match, and both have been horrible. That won't be pleasing the young man. This is Crooks. Guesting with the Western Suburbs club is Lee Crooks. Balmain's ball. Elias wide. Petherbridge. It's the halfway line. Brooks. Gale. Bridge. Oh, Pierce coming onto it strong, but it was a good tackle by Craig Clark. Roach. Geelan around the legs. Bridge. Out on the full again. So the Balmain kicking game has been way down.
I think, as we can see here, a lot of the credit for that must go to Western Suburbs. They've been moving quickly out of second marker and up in the line and putting a lot of heat on the Balmain kicking game.
Fed by Michael Neal, won by the black and whites. And Conlon, coming in from his centre, made the tackle. It's Wigham playing against his old club. Lee-Beater wants to play it. Good to Neil. Now to Bruce Clark out wide. Oh, he slipped a beautiful ball to the 5/8 Cogger.
Duval plays the ball. When he gets up and he's lost it, it's a penalty to the Magpies. Against Scott Gale. Well, the pass from Clark, it may have looked a touch forward, but by Jove, it looked tremendously effective. He put this young man, Trevor Cogger, into a yawning gap. And just for a fleeting moment, I thought the black and whites might have picked up that first 4-pointer. Oh. This man is Lee Crooks, captain of the Hull side, wasn't he not, in the Wembley Cup final? Played fantastic, I'm told, against Penrith. So here he is in front of a crowd with a lot of Magpie fans in among it, and there's the kick. It looks beaut. Has it got the length? No, it's hit the upright. Taken up by David Brooks, and just as well, Brooks stayed alive. He was doing a Ray Price, in fact. That's a big hit on Petherbridge. And the main hitter was Crooks.
There's no doubt that the Western Suburbs defence is moving up very quickly. It's very committed, and I think the best tactic that Balmain can adopt here is a huge kicking game. Despite the fact they've got pressure on them when they try to kick, they've got to persist with it and take the pressure off themselves that West are applying.
Well, he's offside. Surely Gardner was offside.
He's not offside. He's a mile offside.
Thank you, William. Here's Roach with the ball now. They've come out fairly hungry, Graham, and they're really giving it their best shot, the Magpies.
Well, their biggest problem, Ray, was going to be the first 2 quarters. That's where I think Balmain's biggest effort was going to come. A lot of changes, I would expect, in the Tigers' outfit with those guys from the State of Origin match from last night, probably being replaced in the 3rd and 4th quarter. But Western Suburbs, sure, if they can put in a big 1st and 2nd quarter and finish home, the upset is well and truly on the cards.
Here's Crooks taking it up, getting a nice ball away to Wayne Wigan, but that's a good tackle on him, made by well, one of the stars of Sunday, Gary Schofield. Leabeater takes it up strongly. Elias around the legs. 5 gone for Wests. Cogger. Petherbridge covering it. Oh, he's knocked it on. 10 metres out from his own line. This will be a pressure scrum for Balmain. You know, this match, I was only saying to myself today, it was so typical of cup football over its 12-year history. Balmain in the fast lane, riding high. Wests, the less illustrious, the battlers. And how many times have the battlers got up and won matches like this? Western Division and Penrith in the opening year. That was rather memorable. But there's been plenty since then. In fact, I thought last week was pretty much that case. Cronulla and Manly. 4-quarter football, eh? And that big pot of gold. Penalty Balmain. Feed across Wests. Against that fella in the 12. 10 minutes gone. Second semi-final of the National Panasonic. 0-0. The Magpies and the Tigers.
Wait.
Brooks. Hardwick. Plenty of personalities here at the second semi tonight. Both on and off the field. One of them is Keith Holman. He's with Graham Hughes.
Keith, the Mags have certainly started the right way.
Well, yeah, they started the right way. They're up against a good side, Balmain, with what they've got. And we've got a young side, and I think we'll give them a good go for their money.
What's the best tactics, do you think, from the West side tonight?
Well, the best is to tackle down low and one over the top all the time. But tactics to make them run. I think if we can make them run, Wayne Pearce and Roach, and a couple of them had a pretty hard game last night. And I think they might find the 2 games pretty hectic.
Let's see how it unfolds.
Well, I think so. I hope all goes well in there, Graham. Thanks, mate.
Keith Holman. Former great Mag. Oh, penalty to Balmain. Well,
obviously had called held. Mick Stone has ruled that this man was tackled. His progress effectively stopped. And he got up and ran. Didn't run, he crawled. And he's given a penalty to Balmain, the easiest of kicks for Conlon. No worries. Easy for Conlon, 2-0 Balmain. Sets of brothers playing against each other tonight in this match as Crooks prepares to kick off for the west side. Of course, everybody knows that Scott Gale and Brett Gale are brothers, but I don't think too many realise that Paul Clark, the Balmain front rower, and Craig Clark, the west second rower, are indeed brothers. It probably has happened before in league, and it may be very obvious to the people with good memories, but I can't quite recall when two brothers have played against each other. And good kick by Bridge. That's the first one they've got in that's been any good. That's their fourth kick, and that's the best one. In fact, it's been the only one worth remembering. Whoop. Close. So that puts Balmain in a nice position territorially. But of course, West win the scrum. Now it's a case of tackle time for Balmain to hold them. Wiggum. Clark. Neil kicking, Petherbridge perfectly placed. Or it might have been the other way around. Maybe it was a bad kick. What's the footy tab pool, John?
Yes, Ray, the dividend pool for tonight's match is $28,100, and very few entries seem to give Western Suburbs much of a chance. In fact, 80% have gone for Balmain to win this match, with the most popular score being Balmain to score 24 points or more, and Western Suburbs only 6.
So there it is, and haven't there been some fantastic dividends paid on footy tab recently? What was it, upwards of 90 grand the other day? Last week wasn't to be sneezed at. Roach now to play it. 5 tackles gone, the bomb coming for Gale. Well, it's more than a bomb. In fact, it's a fairly ordinary kick, let me tell you. It didn't put any pressure on MacArthur. In fact, we seem to have an extra component out there. We sure do. Well, there you go. That touch judge isn't just a pretty face. Well done, sir. Brother of Alan Neil, who, well, I've got to say it is almost tragically sitting on the bench at St George these days. What a talented player to be sitting on a bench. He's got 2 good ones in front of him, though. That's the problem. Davidson. He's lost it. Well, when's a tackle a tackle? You've heard that question asked by me before. I'll ask it again. That kid had no hope in the world of passing that football. In fact, he had 3 blokes hanging on to him. Something's got to give. Thus the question, when is a tackle a tackle? Scott Gale taking the touch finder. They've got a big back line. Conlon hitting it up hard, reaching the 32. Bridge. Here's Petherbridge. Good solid defence by Geelan and Crooks. Gale again. Clark. Just the 2 points. A penalty to Balmain. Roach. Taken from him by Brett Gale. He's away. Oh, Cogger. The juggling act picked up by Scott Gale. He was in defence. Bruce Clark throwing the pass that may have been better off not thrown. Bridge. Well, not maybe. Surely it should not have been thrown. Geelan going in, hitting with everything. Vella around the legs. Crooks over the top. Now they punch it. They've got a long ball required. That's the pass, but it's been misdirected. Schofield's got it. Given it to Davidson. Here comes the second rower. Davidson's been felled in the back play. It's with MacArthur. Referee is going to give a penalty. Nick Stone giving the penalty where the tackle was made on Davidson. See it again. And Conlon's going to take a kick at goal. Well, actually, he gave the penalty where the ball landed. Looking at that replay, though, it looked like he gave it where the ball was kicked. The rule states that the penalty will be given where the ball actually lands. Against that fellow, Craig Clark. Kick from a very wide angle. In fact, that little passage of play, I suppose, took a lot of minds back to an incident involving Steve Mortimer and Michael O'Connor at Newcastle. It looked very much the same, but pretty obviously Craig Clark's arm did contact the upper arm of Davidson. So Conlon is 33 metres out. A metre in from touch. From the scoreboard side. High. Curling, but it's not going to make it. We're breathing down the break for first quarter. 2-0 the Tigers. Cronulla there, waiting in the cup final for their 4th time. Undoubtedly watching this match keenly, the Sharks. Wigham just outside the 22. Neal. Nice little kick through, and well done, Ross Conlon. Brooks. Gale. Kick for Pearce to chase. Neal does well. Schofield makes the tackle. Crooks. Good pass by Crooks, but it's unfortunately landed in the wrong set of hands. Thought Geelan had it for a moment. Big back line for the Tigers, and Elias kicks. He got a push in the back, but the referee said, "I saw it, play on." MacArthur. He's tackled, the siren has sounded, and that's the end to a very, very exciting first 20 minutes. Balmain 2, West nothing. We'll break and be back. Why don't you join us? Final that at the moment is just 2-0 to Balmain. Scrums at this stage, 4-1 to the Magpies. Penalties, 5-2 to the Tigers. Petherbridge. Gardner. 4 Clark. Bridge.
for Wests in the 5-jumper, losing it, and Neil played it. This is Cogger. Gee, he's got a big step and he's gone into a gap. Beautiful tackle, Scott Gale. Neil. Brett Gale. I suppose Brett is entitled to be thinking, well, the little bloke made a good tackle over there. He can't get me. Davidson. Good football by Davidson. Have a look at this for a try. Scored by Scott Gale. I was about to say Benny Elias, but it was Scott Gale. Well, he made a fantastic tackle on the diagonal corner of the ground only 2 plays before. Billy, what a fantastic performance by Gale.
Certainly was. Talk about the second effort. He got up from the tackle, but the try was made here. Davidson, with a little in and away, was able to beat the first defender, and then he popped the ball up in the second defender for that man, Scott Gale, who'd come from one side of the field to the other to back up, and that's a great try to Balmain.
Good tackle over there. He can't get me. Davidson. Good football by Davidson. Have a look at this for a try. Scored by...
Yeah, well, you saw it as it happened. And this was another angle of John Davidson doing fine, doing just fine for Balmain. I must admit, I hesitated to call this fellow Scott Gale because I was just making a point about Brett saying, well, he made a tackle over there, he can't be over here. That's a fantastic performance by him, and what a great kick by Conlon. The Tigers, 8-0 now. Well, Graham Hughes, you've seen some talented players. I'm talking about the individualists. But that was a magnificent play by Scott Gale, I'm sure you'd agree. And that even brought you onto the ground almost. I can almost see you perspiring.
Well, Ray, that's a great performance from Scott Gale. And a great ball from Benny Elias, although that's not required under pressure at the moment. But Scott Gale, Ray, I think, was a little bit unlucky not to be picked in the City second side. I believe that he's the forward halfback going around at the moment outside of Stevie Mortimer. I really include the likes of Chris O'Sullivan in that, and I think he's one of the big reasons why Balmain are playing so well.
Well, you must have a pretty good memory, because I recall the Balmain-Penrith, the controversial match that we televised, when he came out. There's no doubt he came out on top of Greg Alexander, which I thought firmly asserted him as the number 2 in Sydney at that time. Forward pass and a penalty to, well, not a penalty, but a scrum, in fact, going down 5 metres on the Balmain side of halfway. And there's the devil coming out in him. I can't believe that kid did what he did in scoring that try goal. Duval taking the line kicks for Wests. By the way, Scott Gale's on 4 points in the Superstar Series. He's 2 points behind Mark Wakefield. Lee Beater plays it. Balmain leading by 8-0. Neil. Clark. Balmain ball.
Western Suburbs are making a particular point of trying to offload the ball in tackles to the support play, which is coming up to assist them. But what they've got to be careful of is not to be passing the ball under pressure situations, losing control of the ball and forfeiting possession, and that's what's happening at the moment.
Paul Clark.
Bill, that's exactly what Balmain don't have to do too. There's no need for them to start trying to push the ball at any frantic pace. They should try and slow the game down, now take control in the forwards and make use of that 8-0 lead, try and turn it into another try, turn around in that second half and really take this game by the neck.
Bridge getting a handoff from Pearce, fed to Hardwick. He looked like he might have gone the wrong way. In fact, the left of the ground was sparsely populated with black and whites.
Here's Schofield. He's got the bounce. Gee, what else else can this fellow do? Oh, Gartner's put it down, but oh. Somebody said Schofield's got all the skills. That might have been an understatement. He's brilliant, this fellow. The youngster from England. Little chip over the top. He showed us plenty on Sunday, and he's uncovered another part of his equipment tonight. Oh, he's a good player, this fellow, Schofield. Make no mistake about that. Magpies winning the scrum. MacArthur tackle by Bridge. Crooks. It's good hit and spin stuff. Cogger.
Talking about good players, there's no doubt that Lee Crooks has brought a lot of the traditional skills that we expect from English forwards with him. He's able to hit the line, offload the ball to supports, and he does it with expertise.
Terry Leabeater. Nearly to the halfway. Brett Gale. Oh, good ball to Crooks. Back now for Salak. Infield for MacArthur. Magpies coming back. Neil. Bruce Clark. Ooh, taken in by Greg Duval. 5 gone for West. They'll go to the air. Featherbridge. That's the 22 line. Balmain's in. Featherbridge had no pressure on him. Pearce. Good work by Pearce to Elias. Now to Conlon. Can he pass? Yes, he can. Here's Elias. Back inside. Hardwick keeps up the wrap. Back inside again. Here's Scott Gale. And put down by Roach. Picked up by the Magpies. This is Cogger to the 22 line. A quick play the ball required, and they should hit the blind again. They do. Bruce Clark through one. On it goes now for Duval. Here's a try. A try to Wayne Wigham. Good work, Magpies. Good work. Wayne Wigham scores a try on a strip that he knows so well. Leichhardt Oval. Well, they really worked with the ball on the first tackle, Bill, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought Clark did very well here. He stepped through one tackle. He used some speed that we don't expect from a front row forward. Shifted onto Duval, who did exactly the right thing. Turned it inside for Wigham.
Clark, the big man. He's built for comfort, not for speed, but I tell you what, he caused plenty of trouble for the Tigers. Wayne Wigham, the try scorer. Gee, I was only looking at him in the dressing rooms. Wayne, I didn't realise how tall he is. He must be about 6'3", this fellow.
He was a player, of course, who came from Balmain, and he was always on the fringe of representative football. He's probably a player that hasn't fulfilled his potential. There's no doubt that he's a top first-grade centre, excellent positional player, and he did well there tonight in the scoring of that try.
So 8-4 currently, and there's the angle for Lee Crooks. Any takers? Looks beautiful off the boot. It's going to hit the upright again. Well, talk about bad luck. 8-4 to the Tigers. It's Gale. Neal. Clark again. Wigham. Beautiful night in Sydney for football. No breeze. And the threat of some rain, well, it appears to have gone away. Probably dropped out of the sky in bucket loads, having said that. Here's Featherbridge. Down for Elias. This man is Schofield. Got to wrap over the chin for his trouble. Elias is a worker, is he not? And he and Gale tonight are sharing dummy half. They're sharing dummy half and first pivot. Elias there now to dummy half. Roach. Gardner getting some attention down the ground. Bridge, short ball for Brooks. Oh, it's willing, this defence from West. Geelan and Crooks are hitting very heavy. 5 gone. Here comes the bomb, I'd say. Salak taken by Davidson. He stood his ground, Gerald Salak. Fella. Cup final next Wednesday. A history-making cup final, really. It's our first in the month of June, making way, of course, for Monday Night Football, which we'll be telecasting on the 10 network from the SCG. Duval. That kick's not a good one. It's not even to the 35-metre line. Davidson takes it back to the 22, almost, on the first tackle. So there's heaps of troubles here for Western Suburbs.
It's always a problem when you kick the ball for your winger. If your winger doesn't make the tackle on the opposition, there's generally no defence around to cover it up for you.
Well, no worries for West. They took Rod Petherbridge with a bone shatterer. And here's Crooks into a hole. Gee, I tell you what, he's done some good things. This will be a Balmain. No, it's not. Crooks was able to come again and take it. That's a good play by him.
I think the two coaches, Frank Stanton with Gary Schofield and Ken Gentle with Lee Crooks, have got to be more than happy with what their English imports have done for them. I think they've both settled in extremely quickly and they're making a big contribution to their respective sides.
Bridge. Here's Petherbridge steaming onto it, but he's gone. Schofield. Tackle by Wigham. Didn't take Schofield long to earn the respect of his opponents. Wigham was right up on top of him. Pearce. There goes Conlon. Ankle taps by Geelan. A thriller minute here in the semi-final. Gale chipping ahead. He might score here. Clark's there. Big cover up there by Bruce Clark. Good play by the big fellow. He probably said to himself, what the hell am I doing involved in this contest?
Well, the one good thing, there was no chance of the ball coming out.
Ray, that was great covering from Bruce Clark, but what a great idea from Scott Gale. If that kick had some more depth, say another 5 metres, I'm sure he would have scored.
I reckon he's been reading the superstar points tally, don't you?
He's well on his way again.
Oh, you wouldn't blame him, would you? He's doing fine. We're on the 22-metre line, Magpie territory. They're trailing 8-4. Incidentally, next Wednesday night, Cup final night, we'll again have the privilege and the pleasure of hosting a Cup final with $5,000 worth of prizes for spectators with lucky numbers on their programs to be won. There'll be 3 prizes of trips for 2 to the Brisbane Test in June between Australia and New Zealand. That'll include air travel accommodation and reserved seats, and they're provided by Carlton and United Breweries. And Wests are going to have to replace this hooker, Alan Fowler, by the look of things. Other prizes on Cup final night, National Panasonic providing 2 video recorders, 1 colour TV and 6 AM/FM cassette radios. Plenty of value, eh, for spectators to be at the ground next Wednesday night. So why don't you join us? Who's going on for Fowler, Graham?
Grant Fivey, Ray.
Grant Fivey in 17. Oh, good kick. You don't find touch much closer to that black and white corner post. That's a bit of a blow for West, losing Fowler, by the way. He was leading the scrums 5-2. There's the kick on replay. The Gary Bridge kick. I got to be honest with you, I didn't know who kicked it. I was looking at about 16 things at once here. Michael Neal.
Ray Allen Fowler very heavily concussed as he was brought off then.
5-2, he's leading the scrums, Gray.
Yeah, that could be a big loss to Western Suburbs. He's certainly been one of their form players right throughout the premiership as well.
This is Fivey, the replacement. Clark. putting the kick down the ground, but it might be all right for us from up here to say he should try and position the kick better. He's put a couple down the ground, but they're going straight to Petherbridge.
I think his problem is the fact that the Balmain wingers are doing a very good job. So every time he has a look to find an open space, he just can't pick one, and he's happy to kick down the centre.
Penalty to Balmain. It's not beyond Conlon to put this over. He's 39 metres out, 11 in. He's already indicated, I'm going for goal. Balmain leading by 4, and we're 4 minutes in front of half-time. Incidentally, reserved area grandstand seats for Cup final night will be available from this Friday at Cronulla Sutherland Leagues, Ashcroft High, Fairfield Patrician Brothers, which indicates that Fairfield Pats won the Commonwealth Bank Cup earlier by 30-0 over Copeland College, Canberra. They played good too. Gee, they played good. And of course, the tickets will be available at either West Leagues or Balmain Leagues, depending on the result of this. Conlon's kick. I think he's got it. No, he's just popped it outside that left-hand upright. Play by Duval. This is Gielan. Lebeater. Neal. Clark. Crooks. He's into another gap. Good ball by Clark. Good run by Lee Crooks. Michael Neal supports him. They're going to score. Fivey had to go right down to his bootlaces to take the pass and lost his footing. I thought they were certain to score. Oh, hasn't Clark and this man Crooks opened Balmain up a couple of times. And watch this pass as Michael Neal, he draws them, has to pass round the corner, and Fivey had to go right down, and then he lost his footing.
It was a good effort by Russ Gardner. A lot of wingers would have stayed out on their wing. He smelt that there was trouble on the inside, came in to make the tackle. That forced the error and stopped the try.
Well, this semi-final is a long way from over. That is for sure.
Anyone that's thinking West are going to lay down are in for a shock.
Played by John MacArthur. Swept to Neal. Given through to Cogger. He's almost through. He beat Elias. Was taken by Paul Clark. Short ball for Bruce Clark. Back to Michael Neal. Switches it left for Wigham. He's got runners around him, but driven by Pearce. Good shoulder driving tackle by Wayne Pearce.
Well, that's one of Pearce's great skills as a defender. He can stop the ball dead.
This will be a scrum 10 metres out from the Balmain line. Half-time 25 seconds away. Balmain's penalty. And he's got Lebeater. Lebeater saying, I'm the captain, but that's really got nothing to do with it. Anybody can ask the referee for a ruling or an understanding of his ruling, providing it's done courteously. This business about I'm the captain's got really nothing to do with it. There's the siren in the background as Balmain comes up with the penalty. This time, of course, had it been within kicking distance, Conlon could have been shooting for goal. Again, however, it only counts as the one penalty. Gale putting it in the air predictably, and that's the end of the first half. Well, I enjoyed it. I certainly hope you did. What about you, Graham?
Ray, a great first half of football, but I'm sure that this Balmain pack are going to cop quite a sermon from Frank Stanton. They've got to start putting Bruce Clark and Lee Crooks under the ground, or this fairy tale for the Western Suburbs side is certainly going to have a happy ending.
Western Suburbs tackle count. Most of the forwards doing a top job, aren't they? And Balmain. Clark Hardwick and Brooks topping it, with Bridge making 14 out at 5/8. (7-2) half-time scrums to the Magpies. 7-3 the penalties other way, Balmain. In favour of the Tigers as we get underway with the third quarter.
I don't think it was any coincidence that when we saw the Balmain tackle counts, the three lowest forwards were the forwards who played last night in Brisbane, and consequently Frank Stanton would be looking closely at making replacements in this third quarter, and possibly he'd like to leave it until the fourth, but that'll be determined by how fit his players are and how long they can keep going.
Well, you've led me into a comment that I was going to, well, actually it was a question I was going to ask you earlier. With the way they played on Sunday, it must have flashed through somebody's mind to leave the team intact as per Sunday.
I think this sort of football with 20-minute quarters does lend itself to putting players who are tied in and getting them each 20 minutes, finding out how they're going, giving them a bit of a rev up and pushing them along. And if things don't look good, of course, you've got plenty of opportunities to make the change.
Elias getting it away to Pearce. He's taking it out to the 32. That's been touched by West. 6 more tackles. This is Petherbridge. Across now for Gale, and another set of 6 tackles coming up. Elias. Roach.
You can see there Roach was looking to release, but he was holding the ball in his left hand, and that was shut out. And I've said it a few times in the past, if he could learn to release both right and left hand, he'd be an even better footballer.
Played by Clark. Here's Roach again. Flicking it out the back to Clark. Taken by Geelan and Bruce Clark. And they've just crossed the halfway line, as you can see. Gale. Kick down to Salak. MacArthur goes back with it. Met and tackled by Hardwick. Penalty to West against Davidson.
We've said it many times in the past that these games are won and lost in the third quarter. I don't really know why, but once again that appears to be the way the cards are falling. I think if Balmain give Western Suburbs a sniff of victory and they get a little bit closer than this 8-4, they're going to start to develop the confidence which makes them believe they can get away with this.
Neil. Cogger. Brett Gale.
Billy, I think they believe that already.
Roach. You mean you didn't have to be told, Graham?
Well, they're playing with plenty of enthusiasm, Ray, and it's Balmain are the ones that are feeling the pressure of having to push the ball.
Yeah, I agree with you. Schofield now. He'll play it just outside the 22 line. Winning it. MacArthur losing it. This is dangerous if they push the ball to the right of the ground. Gale knows that. He tried. Plays it just outside the 22.
I thought you read that the way it was, Ray. The unfortunate thing for Gale was the Balmain players out wide just didn't reform.
Here's Gale trying to get through himself. 15 metres out from the west line. Benny Elias. Tackled by the marker. Bridge. Gary Bridge, 10 metres out. Roach. 5 tackles gone. Player to watch here is most definitely Gary Bridge. Here he is. MacArthur stands his ground and takes it over the dead ball line. This was the bomb from Bridge. MacArthur wasn't subjected to the pressure I thought he would. He got some pretty good cover from his teammates. He certainly didn't make any attempt to bring it back into the field of play, however. The dropouts to be taken by Duval. And It's getting out down to Petherbridge. He'll take it back with those big legs working overtime. Good solid hit over the top by Geelan. He tackles very heavily. Hardwick to the 22. Tackle number 2. Roach. Brooks didn't have it at any stage. Crooks has put it down. Roach has come back with it for Balmain. Spun away to Elias. Elias showing it with the one hand, and he's tackled 12 metres out. I'm wondering how far, according to the rule book, does the advantage actually apply. Just watching that passage of play, it's played by Bridge. This is Clark. Elias coming across the ground and hitting the ball up hard and flat was Pearce. 5 tackles gone. Elias might go himself. Picks up Roach out wide. He looks to get it. He does get it away. Schofield and Petherbridge knocks on. Well, here it was. Roach, he wanted to get it away there, but good work by Brett Gale and his brother Scott actually snuffed it out, and that was just the chink that West were hoping to create.
Both sides have made a number of handling errors in this vital third quarter, and what I think we can read into that is the fact that both teams are placing tremendous importance on whoever scores next. It's going to be absolutely vital in this game. Whoever can get their nose in front and hang on are going to be the ones that'll win it, and the next scorer could well be that one.
Look at this scrum count now. West's 9-2. Oh, good work, Lee Crooks. Away goes young Cogger over the halfway line. Cut down by Petherbridge. Away and through Clark onto Clark. This is Bruce. The ball was passed by Craig Clark. 5 tackles gone for the Magpies. Michael Neal puts up the bomb. Petherbridge tested. He's got it, Petherbridge. Good take. I know Bill said it earlier, Graham, but this fellow Crooks, goodness gracious, hasn't he got all the skills?
That was magnificent ball that he put away then, but I'm also noticing in the background now Kevin Hardwick carrying a shoulder for Balmain. That's further problems for Frank Stanton if he's going to make more replacements.
Graham, I think the big attraction that Crooks has got is he's not one of those forwards that brings the ball up in a straight line. He's just got a little bit of a step in his run, and that's enough to beat the defence and be able to get his ball, the pass away.
Billy reminds me very much of Mick Adams when he first came out to play with Canterbury Bankstown. He's got pace, only uses it when he has to, but he has that incredible English ability of being able to slow the game down to his pace, use other defenders and get balls away.
Roach taking it ahead with tremendous vigour, and he realises now, as I believe, oh, Wayne Pearce has lost it. Lee Crooks comes up with the ball. They're just outside the Balmain 22, and the right winger from West has gone in to make the extra man. Here he comes. That's him with it now. Gerald Salak it was. Now it's out to the 5/8 Cogger, and he's tackled 20 metres out. Plenty of people thought West had no hope here tonight. The only ones that didn't agree with them are those ardent West supporters here at Leichhardt, plus the 13 men on the ground at the moment. And they're giving it their best shot. Crooks has put it down. Again, Balmain have lost it, and the referee is obliged to put the scrum down. These guys realise it's only a semi-final. Well, out of this match, of course, we are certainly going to have one player who'll be making history in Australia and England. He'll be the first player to play in a cup final in both countries in the same year. With Crooks and Schofield, one of them's got to be there. Penalty to West, a differential. Gale asking the question. So is Roach. 8-4, Balmain still leading. 11 minutes to go. Wayne Pearce, Elias, Roach and Gale, they're having a committee meeting with the referee. Well, how much more time is the referee obliged to give up explaining what he's doing? 3 differentials against Balmain.
Lebeater centres it for one. He's tackled 18 metres out. Well, win, lose or draw, Wests they've done themselves proud here tonight. Oh, gee, that move was almost into the opening. That was so beautifully put together, it all but came off for them first go.
It's not just a better-looking thing.
Staying fit is a full-time job for Wayne Pearce these days. So Jeff Sutton going on in 14. He'll take the place of Alan Geelan. I didn't see any foul play. That's what I was going to say. When I mentioned there was a West player down, I was going to say I don't know whether he was on the end of any foul play. And obviously he wasn't in the eyes of the referee or touch judges. So West winning the scrum. Michael Neal to play. Is Cogger going across and switching the point of the attack to his fullback MacArthur's side of the ground. Right on halfway. Lebeater. (8-4), Balmain leading still. Neal, Cogger. Brett Gale. Cogger again finding the line with a good kick, a neat kick in fact. Just inside the 22 line. He's played very well tonight, Trevor Cogger. Penalty to West. He's got Gale again for his feed. Lebeater taking it to the middle for one. Two forward decoy to the left, and Craig Clark goes to the blind side. Spun away now to the backs to have their go, and here's Brett Gale, cut down by his brother Scott. They keep wrapping it to the left, and here's Crooks. Got a pass away, put down though by Sutton, the replacement. Petherbridge. Paul Clark. Hemsley. Gardner. Hardwick. So 5 tackles gone. Here's the kick for Gary Bridge. And he's found touch with it. Very big push from Balmain there. And they get the penalty. West player down in the scrum. 2 of them, in fact. Sutton and Crooks. Just 3 minutes to the 3/4 break, and Gale takes the kick for touch. Hemsley.
from the line. Hardwick. 2 metres from the line. Gale. Bridge. Gary Bridge. Neil Whittaker's the 17. Brooks. 5 tackles gone for Balmain now. Here's Bridge. A bomb towards the uprights and stacks on the mill. It'll be a line dropout. Desperate stuff here from the Magpies. John MacArthur eventually towing it over the dead ball line. But Balmain have got about 90 seconds to take it back in front of the break. Down to Bridge. Oh, must have been a good tackle. Sutton comes up with it. Cogger plays it. Neil. Lebeater. Fivey. A little knock on there by Fivey. Davidson's kick ahead, taken by MacArthur. Good chase by Hardwick. Crooks. Paul Clark to play the ball. Just seconds from the break. I wonder do they realise it. Yes, Gary Bridge does. He kicks ahead and again. And Wests have got the ball. There's the siren, the end of 3 quarters. Balmain with 1 try and 2 goals, leading by 8 points to 4. We'll take a break and be back, but right now, a reminder of the Superstar Prize for you. And Neil comes up with the ball. So he's ruled a knock on about 8 metres into Balmain's area. West coach Ken Jettle. Penalty to West. Well, Balmain are having terrible trouble with the scrummaging tonight, apart from a couple of big pushes that we've described to you. That's the 5th differential penalty against them. And of course the scrum count is far from pleasing from a coach's point of view. It's running out at 11-8 now. It has picked up. This is Lebeater reaching the Balmain 22. About 8.5 minutes of time remaining. Sutton, converted try here for West, would set the stage for a great finish. Crooks tackled about 8 metres out from the Balmain line. Fivey just a metre out. The Tigers, oh, he's kicked it ahead, he scored! Fivey has scored for Western Suburbs. Grant Fivey, the try scorer. He came on to replace the hooker Alan Fella. Here it is on the head-on for you.
Well, we're a long way from the play from here, but it certainly didn't look like a try from where we were. But of course, the referee's in a better position than us.
So, 12 points to 8. There's the try scorer, Grant Fyvie. And the Western Suburbs fans now, more than ever, have high hopes of making the cup final. They should be just 2 points behind, given that Lee Crooks kicks this, and he has. 12 points to 10 in favour. But of course, to get a penalty kick at goal, that'd make it 8-8.
Ray, let's not forget that Lee Crooks hit the upright on 2 occasions in that first half as well.
Yeah.
Western Suburbs, of course, still facing that problem that they've got to push the pass, they've got to try things, whether it be popping the ball up or a chip kick over the top or whatever, and that's not going to work to their advantage. But still, the Balmain defence has got to hold tight if they're going to get away with it.
Warnocky spreading the ball out to Brett Gale. Played just inside the West 22. Leabeater getting a good ball away. They back up Western Suburbs. This is Sutton. He's over the halfway line, and it's been put down by Duval. Knocked backwards, said the referee. Neil. The West fans have absolutely gone crazy here at Leichhardt. Look at them cheering out there on the hill as Clark takes it 5 metres into Balmain's territory. Last tackle for the Magpies. Charged down by Gary Bridge, and he's knocked on. Michael Stone may have been a little premature there. Bridge went for the charge down. He made a success of it. Then he knocked on. But the whistle had sounded before West had the opportunity to come up with the ball. Just 2 points. Balmain 12, West 10, and the Tigers get a penalty. To go. David Brooks.
Balmain have got absolutely no option open to them here. They play no frills football, just hit it up around the ruck such as they're doing now for 5 tackles and then put up a kick. But there's no way that Frank Stanton would expect them to push any more than 1 pass.
Hemsley.
Well, Bill, they've got to get as close to the post as possible and possibly put up a bomb, tackle Western Suburbs inside their own in goal, and hopefully get another 6 tackles.
Paul Clark, centre of the ground on the 22. Gale. That kick is pretty deep. MacArthur, yes, he's put it over the dead ball line. Well, that's the play that Graham Hughes was indicating, and now, of course, Balmain will get the ball back. MacArthur may have been better advised to try and take that ball and bring it back into the field of play, because he certainly seemed to have the room to do that. He may have just put his foot on the accelerator a bit early. Gartner now will play it on the first, on the 22 line. Petherbridge. Whoops. Put on the brace, but there's no ground there. Scott Gale. Hemsley. 12-10. Balmain in front by 2. Gale slipping into an opening. 12 metres out. Here's Brooks. Short ball for Conlon. 5 tackles gone for Balmain. They'll try it again, almost surely off the boot of Gary Bridge. Here he is. Still able to get his kick in. And this time it's over the dead ball line without a Western Suburbs player touching it. So here's MacArthur rushing the ball up to the 22. Quickly tapped by Warnocky. Given to Bruce Clark. Then it's gone on to Lee Crooks. And Crooks is tackled midway between the 22 and the halfway. West end of the paddock. This is Bruce Clark. He's played strongly. He's almost to the halfway line. Playing it back to Brett Gale. That's if and when he can get up. The referee has called timeout. He can't play it. His legs have cramped. Both legs have cramped. And there's Gary Schofield, the Balmain centre, helping Brett Gale to uncramp the legs of Bruce Clark. Crowd, there was a big one when we started and they're still here. Time running out for the Magpies now. Crooks. I think he's lost it. No, the referee's ruling that he's got possession and ordered him to play it. Gary Webster. 12-10, Balmain. Here comes the kick off Neil. Gale's underneath it. Oh, he's done it again, Gale. He's been in the right spot at the right time. Little or no pressure on him by the same token. Gary Bridge right on the halfway line, playing it slowly. Whittaker knows exactly what to do. So does Petherbridge. As Bill Anderson calls it, no frills football. Hemsley's lost it. A scrum 32 out from the west line. They've got the feed and the head. And this could well be the Magpies' last chance to get into that cup final. They've won the scrum. That's step one. Neil, crunched from behind by Hardwick. Brett Gale. Knock-ons both ways. Scrum just outside the West 22. Siren must just be a matter of seconds away. Penalty, Balmain. Against the half for Wests. John Owens going over to take the tap. Probably take it up and settle it for one. He does. Now Hemsley's calling the ball. Whittaker takes it from dummy half. There's the siren. It's over. But not before Western Suburbs gave it one hell of a shot. Gallant in defeat. But the Tigers go to the cup final, winning by 12 points to 10. Gale and Schofield the tries. Conlon 2 goals. And for Wests, Wigham and Fyvie the tries, with Crooks landing the goal.